Tyrone football challenge from the magnificent Sky Dome in Toronto, Canada last weekend. It was a splendid occasion for the Irish, with the games receiving intensive television coverage locally, and neither team took it lightly. They were both extremely anxious to win, and it produced a hard, tight game. Here now is Ger Kenning.
A squad of considerable experience, starting with goalkeeper John O'Leary, and including fullback Jerry Hargan and cornerback Mick Kennedy, while in attack Kieran Duff and Joe McNally are others who have won All-Ireland football medals. Tyrone present a team of definite potential, with experienced heads like Aidan Skelton and Sean Donnelly linking up with some of the emerging young stars like the Canavan brothers, Pascal in defence and Peter in attack. Incidentally, the McClures, Harry and Mickey, are also brothers. So, Michael Greenan starts the opening quarter, and it's Tyrone who play from left to right in the first half, with Harry McClure in action straight away, sending the ball down towards Peter Canavan. Picked up, however, in the centre of the field there by Adrian Cush, one of the youngsters on the side. That's a good probing ball forward. Good looking shot as well, and it's John O'Leary who tips it up and over the bar with the help there of Ray Holland. That's the opening point, and it's scored by Damien O'Hagan, a point after 25 seconds. Watch it again as O'Hagan was coming in from the left-hand side, the goalkeeper doing well to tip it up and over, and Ray Holland was there just to make sure it did go over. So Tyrone have got in front by a point. Here's Sean McNally here, with Tyrone, as we say, the leaders, early stages in the game. That's a free on Sean McNally. He can take the free himself under the new rules from his hand. Prior to this, frees had to be taken from the ground. A shot went wide in any case. So just a point between the teams. And that was Dave Foran, one of the Dublin midfield players, launching the first Dublin attack of the match. But Tyrone are really wound up. They want to do well in this as we watch Barney Rock flick the ball nonchalantly forward. Tipped down by Joe McNally to awaiting Kieran Duff. And the side's on level terms. Kieran Duff with his first point and Dublin's first point as they play for the ANP Canada Cup. Same as the hurlers did just before this. And it was Kieran Duff with that unerring finish with a trusty left boot. Well, this has been a very bright start of the match. 2 attacks and a point apiece, as we watch the number 13, Adrian Cush, take the free himself, but a little bit too quickly for the referee's liking, because Cush took the free from the position in which he had moved after he was fouled. The referee wanted the free back. Now you can take the frees from the ground or from the hands, and Sean Donnelly is opting, as you see, to take it from the ground. Driven in deep. That's Ray Holland going back there. What is a very big occasion for him, trying to establish himself in the Dublin half-back line. Tommy Carr letting that one go over the head of Vinnie Murphy, and there's a wrestle and a pull down on end to Kilpatrick, centre half-back for Tyrone, and that will be a free out for Tyrone from just inside their own 65-metre line. The lines in the field are important, of course, for both hurling and football, because when the ball goes out from a defender in this game behind his own goal line, it would result in a free from 45 metres out. Remember, it was 65 in the hurling game. And just to make sure that we've got it right, he does indeed kick truly and over the bar. So it's a second Tyrone point, 2 points to 1. Ran up to it well just outside the 20-metre line. It's Tommy Carr, who was fouled by Damien O'Hagan, who protested it was a fair shoulder-to-shoulder, but I think it wasn't so much a shoulder-to-shoulder, but Sean McNally was there too, and they provided a sandwich, and the meat in the middle was Tommy Carr, and the official is well and truly grounded over there by a very determined Vinnie Murphy. Now, that's a sideline ball, and Michael Greenan was explaining to the linesman it was all perfectly accidental. Well, that's what happens when you're just a little bit too near the action. And here's Jim Hayes, newcomer to the Dublin colours this year. In fact, it was Paul Clark was the one who was fouled. Free to Dublin. Barney Rock lining up the free. A good-looking angle from Barney Rock's point of view. He's very much Dublin scorer-in-chief from frees normally. And on this occasion, well, he left just too much margin for error. Chance has gone a-begging. Aidan Skelton. Vinnie Murphy unable to hold on to it. It's Harry McClure, who started very promisingly for Tyrone in the centre of the field along with his partner there, Plunkett Donaghy. opting instead to take the free from his hands, getting a bit more length into it that way, down towards Damien O'Hagan, who opened the scoring. And that's played on into the centre, but once again Tommy Carr is there. Referee's whistle sounds. Oh dear, Damien O'Hagan there, running into something that the referee has now moved in very quickly just to defuse a potentially serious situation. And the referee is going to have to move in smartly here. Well, that was the first explosive incident that we've seen in the game so far. And Damien O'Hagan is over there having a quick word with the referee. Tommy Carr is called across as well. Carr number 6. Eamon Heary is the man in the middle explaining it all away. Dublin's number 7. But the first piece of nastiness, and this is exactly what happened now. There's O'Hagan, and shaping up to him was Tommy Carr. And a little headbutting, which the camera picked up. Ouch. Well, there was no sending off there, which results in a name taking, but no sending off. Had the player been sent off there, by the way, then the team that lost the player would be down to 14 men, and they would not have been allowed to bring on a replacement for the remainder of the game. And it really is quite edgy. That's Mick Deegan there pushing away a colleague, and the referee has penalised Dublin a further 10 metres, and it all is rather unpleasant just now. Michael Greenham trying to stamp his authority on the match. A lot of hissing and booing from the fans up in the lofty perches here at the Sky Dome. But Damien O'Hagan there, marked by Jerry Hargan, is hoping to try and carve some more openings to get some more scores. His side ahead by a point. And here is Peter Canavan once again. And he pokes it nicely high and over the bar. His second point. Tyrone has a 2-point lead. Peter Canavan is just 18 years of age. He's the youngest player in the match. So for the second time in the match, Peter Canavan is called into the action, and Canavan does the needful. Ball hops into the middle. Sean McNally here. Playing the ball on quickly to Plunkett Donaghy. Sending it in towards Mickey McClure. Left-footed from McClure, but rather wildly. He really should have finished better on that occasion. And that's Tyrone's third wide. Dublin with just one wide so far. Sean McNally, number 11, proving a very nippy performer to date. That's a cross and well taken over there by Pascal Canavan. Linking up into the centre towards Sean McNally from Sean Donnelly. Well, the jerseys tugged, and they are padded jerseys as opposed to the jerseys they normally wear. And McNally, the referee decides, was not fouled, rather he held onto the ball too long, which is a hard enough decision to understand because there seemed to be a foul. Here's Dave Foran trying to get it in towards Joe McNally, and taken away from him by Tony Quinn, who decides that the ball is better served by being well and truly away from the danger area. Good grouping by Tyrone in defence. Down towards Sean McNally against Tommy Carr. Good catch by Sean McNally, normally noted as a wing forward. Getting the ball in, doing well so far, Tyrone. A high-looking pass, and it's gone over the bar. And that was a good ball put over the bar there by Kieran Corr. Ray Holland under it, but out jumping him on that occasion is the Tyrone forward, Kieran Corr. Well, he over-travelled. He took more than the 4 paces. He was trying to make up his mind who to pass the ball inside to, and forgot about the regulation. Free for Dublin in this magnificent arena here at the Sky Dome. Tommy Carr then of Dublin to take the free. Up towards Joe McNally, went off his hand. Raymond Monroe, copped a high one that time, the Tyrone corner back. And the referee going in and just warning some of the forwards about their future behaviour. There was no name taking. That's Mick Kennedy, who was fouled. And at the end of the first quarter, it is Tyrone who lead by a solitary point, 4 points to 3. They made the brighter start, but Dublin came back strongly. And now Dave Foran. Foran of the Dublin midfield. Oh, and 2 defenders making something of a hash of it. And that was Sean Donnelly going by with Kieran Duff. And Duff once again demonstrates his anger as he was taken down by Sean Donnelly, and that's the second flashpoint we've seen in this match. One in the first half and now one yet again in the second half, and they've all occurred down in that particular corner of the field. Remember, the two defenders there made something of a hash of it. That was a very reckless challenge, really, by Sean Donnelly on Kieran Duff. There could easily have been a very nasty injury there. This is where the two defenders let it go by, and watch this for a challenge. There's no way Sean Donnelly was ever going to get that ball like that. Dublin made the most, in any case, of the ball that resulted in a free by Barney Rock, and Barney Rock has made it 4 points each. So temper is rising once again, and Kieran Duff may be exacting retribution for the earlier incident. It was only an elbow, the referee says, but nonetheless, mind yourself. So the players will have to be a little bit more disciplined, as that ball is fisted forward by Damien O'Hagan, and Sean McNally has no chance in the world of getting onto it. Tommy Carr with the sideline ball. Dublin, it seems, preparing to make a substitution, and it may well be Alan McNally, who's just come in, a brother of Joe McNally. So two McNallys in the Dublin full forward line. Meanwhile, at the other end, it's Peter Canavan showing class. Half blocked down, however, and the ball taken away out of defence by a very busy Mick Deegan, lofting a good long ball down to Joe McNally. His brother Alan McNally, or the Nipper as they call him, is waiting inside. Meanwhile, it's Eamon Heary taking it inside to Vinnie Murphy, trying to go around Enda Kilpatrick. Receiving the return is Vinnie Murphy. The sides level, remember, 4 points each. Well, it was a very useful chance. It's still in play. Barney Rock just trying to contain the pass. That, in fact, is Paul Clark we're watching there, who's been in with the action from the very beginning and likes to go forward and join the attack from a midfield spot. So a free for Barney Rock because of some holding down there as that ball came in from Biddy Murphy. So there is a chance then to turn this piece of play into the lead for Dublin for the first time in the match, and Dublin assume leadership for the first time in the 9th minute of the second quarter. Barney Rock's third point. Well, just when Tyrone were leading before that rash tackle by Sean Donnelly, Dublin have certainly turned it around quite considerably and lead for the first time. Now, can they keep their noses in front? A long way to go yet. Damien O'Hagan lets the ball run on. Peter Canavan was in there, but Mick Deegan of Dublin, the covering defender, challenged by Kieran Corr. And Kieran Corr trying to set up an attack for Tyrone with space inside to manoeuvre in. That's Damien O'Hagan back to Sean McNally. And it's still in play. Tyrone's still with the ball, and that's over there Damien O'Hagan, and wrestling for possession. He's won a lot of good ball, but it's been all a little bit scrappy up there. Freed to Tyrone. Eamon Heary gets the lecture, and Adrian Cush coming up to take this free, his first free from a scoreable position with his left boot. And for the second time in the game, the sides are level. Adrian Cush with the point. So it's 5 points each. Sean McNally. And yet again, a tussle off the ball, a real wrestling match as Sean McNally goes in. Blunkett Donaghy was involved in it, and so too was Paul Clark. And Dave Foran is the one who's been called across by the referee. And there was a quick little wrestling match that time as Sean McNally was heading for goal. So it's one of the stories of this match, the needle that is there between Tyrone and Dublin, and the referee having to lecture players on 3 occasions. 3 bookings, but no sending off to date. This was McNally, that was the wrestle. Over you go. And some peacemakers stepping in to try and make sure that it didn't get any nastier. Dave Foran releases it to Tommy Carr. Carr, coming from his centre-half back position, has got support on the left-hand side from the on-running Eamon Heary. Heary, well, he was slung around that time by Adrian Cush, who made no real attempt to try and take the ball away from the attacker. And Kieran Duff is bidding now to give Dublin the lead for the second time in the game from a free just inside the 45-metre line. Ordinarily, you'd put the housekeeping money on this man to slot it over the bar, and your fate would be justified. He's got 3 points, and the Dublin fans here in the Sky Dome are enjoying themselves enormously. Kieran Duff's 3rd point makes it 6 points to 5. It's been at times an explosive second quarter, with the referee lecturing some players for their behaviour. We've seen some good passages of football as well, but it's the Dubs, the Leinster champions, who carry a 1-point advantage to the dressing rooms. Dublin 6 points, Tyrone 5 at the break. We're ready to start the second half. Michael Greenan poised, ready, and away we go. And so it's Tyrone who play from left to right in the opening phase of this second half. Adrian Cush here taking the ball away, cross towards Peter Canavan. Well, it was Tyrone who got the opening point in the match when they were playing down that end of the field. Here's John O'Leary, Dublin's goalkeeper since 1980. It's been an eventful decade for Dublin football. Harry McClure unable to hold onto that ball, and it's booted forward by Dave Foran of Dublin. Gathered, however, and taken by Peter Canavan, Pascal Canavan rather. His brother is Peter up on the corner. And that ball bounced rather hard and deceivingly there, and it's taken by Mickey McClure. Back to Sean McNally. Checked his stride, hit it delightfully, and the sides are on level terms. Sean McNally's first point in the game comes a minute and 15 seconds into the second half. Here's Kieran Corr, dancing away from the challenge. Nice diagonal ball inside towards Sean McNally. His persistence pays off. McNally had the go at his mercy, and he puts it over the bar. It's a well-struck score, his 2nd in the game. He did well against the defender that time, who was just a little hesitant. Well, McNally, I think, will be very, very pleased with that score. Meanwhile, it's Paul Curran for Dublin, getting away from Sean Donnelly. Menacingly inside, Enda Kilpatrick standing his ground firmly. He was fouled as he was taking it out, and rather disappointed Vinnie Murphy expressing his displeasure there to the referee. This is how that score came, and it came from tigerish persistence by Sean McNally, just there ahead of the defender. He sidestepped well, it got a touch from the defender but went over. Dublin queuing up in the middle, but then getting in a tangle between one another, because it's Harry McClure who benefits most by the indecision. Kieran McGarvey is, let's just follow this for a second. That was a high challenge on Peter Canavan, and really some of these challenges have been quite reckless and dangerous in my view, and don't do anybody a real service. It's Mick Deegan who hit out that time, and Canavan is quite clearly injured. Peter Canavan really is in considerable discomfort, and a stretcher is being brought on. So this is what happened. He may well have swallowed his tongue as he was struck that time by Mick Deegan. This is that last incident again now. Make up your minds yourselves as we watch number 2, Mick Deegan there. Thrust out the right arm, and Peter Canavan hits the deck. Back on his feet yet again. As we say, he's the youngest player in the match today, only 18. His brother Pascal, who's 21 years of age, is playing at left half-back. Kieran Corr there coming in to say to Peter Canavan, come on, you can do it. Here's the free. And it's struck well, and it's put over the bar by the man who was injured in that incident, Peter Canavan. That is his 3rd point. And so his side now has built up a 2-point lead at a vital time in the match, very near the end of the 3rd quarter. The referee may well add on some additional time for the injuries that we had and the number of times that the referee had to call on the trainers. Declan Bolger up towards Vinnie Murphy. An elusive forward, can be very brilliant as well, and that's an indication of his class, as Vinnie Murphy gets his name on the score sheet for the first time in this Sky Dome clash. So the deficit now is just a solitary point. Tyrone the leaders by 8 points to 7, but there's a lot of life left in Dublin yet. There's Tommy Carr with the sideline kick inside to Paul Curran, who's now playing in midfield, filling in. Good ball forward, taken with some considerable difficulty, struck well. Joe McNally's in there. A good-looking shot. Well saved by Aidan Skelton. The goalkeeper got down low and denied Joe McNally. Well, that was a fine move. It was well set up with a fine catch in the air that time by Joe McNally. The goalkeeper did superbly. Kieran Duff ready to take the 45. 8 points to 7. And again, it's Tyrone in some trouble, and Dublin moving in and claiming that the ball had gone over the goal line, and the umpires are having a quick confab. Dublin quite insistent that that one had gone over the goal line as it came in from the 45, and that lady there said, "I saw it clearly." She says, "Really, you should have awarded a goal that time. This was the 45. Watch the Dublin players coming in. Now, did the ball cross over the goal line? It was a very near thing." Well, the umpires are having a quick consultation with the referee, and he says, "I'll do the talking with the two men in the white coats." And the referee, Michael Greenan, is, I think, awarding a goal. It's a goal for Dublin. It did cross the line. So Michael Greenan awards the goal to Dublin. It was fisted down, touched in by Vinnie Murphy, and he gets the credit. So Vinnie Murphy, the goal scorer. A goal and a point now is his tally tonight. The Dublin fans absolutely deliriously happy with that score. And so Dublin have taken the lead. That's Sean Doherty. Good ball inside to McNally. Turning, looking for support. That's Declan Bolger. Here's Barney Rock. Right-footed high, and it's over the bar. That's his trademark, Barney Rock, a clinical finisher. 4 points for the evening. The Dublin fans happy. They've opened up a 3-point lead. And 3 points, of course, the equivalent of a goal in hurling or Gaelic football. That's confirmation of the scoreline. Once the ball goes dead, that's Monroe. Good deep ball inside, fisted away, however, by Ray Holland. Gathering it smartly, however, is Shawnee Myler. Shawnee Myler has had quite enough match in this game. The right half-back trying to set up McClure again. Tyrone meaning business here, showing just too much of it to Tommy Carr. The shoulder there coming in from Sean McNally. It breaks down here too. Kieran Duff, the jersey is tested, the texture is firm. Belted into the centre. Here's Sean Donnelly. Challenged despairingly by Paul Clark. Gathered by Harry McClure. Free very quickly taken. Tyrone, remember, trailing, having led for quite a long while in the opening half, but now behind by 3 points as we watch one of the Canavans. It's that youngster Peter again, the 18-year-old who kicks over his 3rd point, and that's now back to a deficit of just 2. And the basic story of this match, as this young lady watches, is that if Tyrone get the goal now, they will in all probability win the Canada Cup. Time is very much their enemy. Here's the kick. Well struck. They rise inside for it. Down by Patsy Curlin. And it could have gone anywhere. Well, Patsy Curlin was a Tyrone star of the last few years, and he might well have notched the cup for his county as he went onto it. Watch him coming in on the left-hand side, fisting it there, across the face of the goal, skimmed off the head of Kieran McGarvey as well, I think. A minute remaining. John O'Leary's team, Dublin, still hanging on by a thread to their 2-point advantage. This is Eamon Healy, sandwiched, trying to break loose from the sandwich. And that will suit Dublin very nicely, because it'll be possession for Dublin. Or will it? Well, here he felt he was fouled. Tyrone want to get the ball badly. Well, this was no friendly in the ordinary sense. This was a fully committed, sometimes very ragged game of Gaelic football. And that's the position, 11 points to 9. But it was all about winning the cup. And those fraternity rings, as we said earlier, worth about 1,000 Canadian dollars. Tony Quinn here. Fists it forward. Now it's all Tyrone. But is it too little too late? We've got 15 seconds on my watch remaining. Shawnee Myler. The referee may add on some time. The trainer was on. It's still Myler, but he's got to reach a colleague. Dublin trying to bottle him up. And the referee's blown his whistle and he signals that it's going to be a free in for Tyrone. A point will not do. They've got to go for a goal. We're in injury time. A dramatic Canada Cup tie. Peter Canavan, the taker. He scored 3 of a tally of 9 Tyrone points. The all-important goal by Vinnie Murphy, really separating the teams. Canavan has kicked it high, and it's stopped on the goal line by John O'Leary, and it's gone into the goal, but the referee has held up his hand. And is it a goal? Sean McNally is convinced it is. Is that the winning goal? The referee's gone in, and I think he's telling John O'Leary, put it down on the ground, it's going to be a free out. A goal I don't think has been allowed. Well, Michael Greenan again, the centre of controversy. On this occasion he decides it's not a goal. Canavan played it in. Watch for McNally coming in to challenge the goalkeeper, who let the ball drop down there, and the goalkeeper was fouled inside the large rectangle. That's a free out, no goal. So Dublin still continue to lead by 2. Tyrone coming at them in waves at this stage. A minute into injury time in the Toronto Sky Dome. That's a kick, which is high, and it's over the bar. It's a point by the team captain, Sean Donnelly. So a difference of just 1 now. But how much time is left? That's at the discretion of the referee. 1-8 to 10 points. The referee tells John O'Leary, kick the ball out, and that's it, the final whistle. As dramatic a Canada Cup tie as you could hope to see. Vinnie Murphy was the goal scorer in the 3rd quarter, and that has separated the sides. Dublin win the ANP-sponsored Canada Cup by a point.
For the GAA, with Congress ratifying several of those rules.